Hi, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here for me. It's an honor, too. Thank you for the great introduction, Herman. He left. Well, I'm going to start talking a little bit about myself. I think most of you, or some of you know who I am, maybe from billboards or maybe from the former Miss Switzerland contest. When I was 18, it brought me to fame in Switzerland. And I started being the face of brands, and I started working parallel to my studies as a model, as a TV presenter, and slowly but surely I emancipated myself from my former manager and started managing my own image, becoming a brand. While doing that, I have never quit my studies, and I finished university. Whereas already there was a lot of skepticism about it, saying, how is it possible that you are studying and working full-time, you're in a beautiful, glamorous, fashionable bikini in a cover of a magazine, but then you try to get into finance. That makes no sense. So I didn't really care. I carried on, I pursued it, and I actually have tried to get internships, and I got some internships. One of the last internships I did was an internship at a financial institution, a big American bank in London, right after my studies. And I went on to work in capital markets for a bit to try it on. The day I arrived to the bank, I sat down at my desk, and there was a lot of weird attention on me. And I was like, that's kind of interesting, what's happening? I log in into my computer, I open Bloomberg, the trading system, and I see that I had a profile created, and I was the most viewed person ever on Bloomberg, more than Obama and Warren Buffett. And I was like, whoa, what is this? But I didn't pay much attention to it until the next day. I was watching the news while working, financial news, and there was the Greek crisis passing by, and then Xenia Tchoumitcheva, the model intern. I was like, what is happening here? And I realized that the attention went on to me because it was crazy for some reason that a glamorous or a fashionable model would go into doing something that involves her brain. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do my job and do not care about it. But then the bank started doing emergency meetings. They were like, oh my God, you should be careful what you're going to say in the media. We don't want our image to be ruined. I was like, I would never do that. And the whole thing just carried on in magazines from China to America to financial news in Latin America. And I was constantly in the spotlight. And that made me think about the fact that I already actually had a career in the spotlight, and about the fact that for some reason, culturally, people don't bring together an image of a beautiful woman in high heels and maybe a dress who can also occupy herself with more important topics or more serious topics or intellectual stuff. So I was like, all right, that is an interesting cultural study that I'm doing here. At the end, I didn't stay in finance. I decided to stay independent. I quit, I carried on, and I decided to quit to start my own business. The media, at that point, did not believe me either, and they started writing that I quit finance to become a DJ. I was like, all right, fine. Doesn't matter. And even Wikipedia would write it. So my team and I had to fight it forever to say, no, she actually did not quit finance to become a DJ, whereas I do it occasionally because it's part of my media activities. I actually did it to start my own business online. Why online? Because online actually allowed me to stay in high heels and at the same time use my brain. Nobody would tell me, conform, you're a woman, you can't be both. Either you dress like a man and speak like a man and be respected, or you are feminine and pretty and you stay more of an object. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do both. And I started my blog. I would say it's already a year and a half. Initially, it was a blog about luxury, but now Chic Overdose has become a more broad web magazine because my fan base has grown a lot since. My fan base in the social media has grown a lot. And I have started having contributors, female contributors, because I thought, well, if I can boldly be myself and stay a woman and a feminine woman in a business world and talk about shallow subjects and more interesting business subjects at the same time and have a following, I should give the possibility to have a help from similar women to me. So I started opening the doors for writers that are from all over the world, and they can contribute to my blog either occasionally or on a consistent basis. Some of them are entrepreneurs. One of the girls, for instance, is a 30 under 30 Forbes entrepreneur in Australia. She's got her own lingerie line. Other girls are bloggers, writers, journalists, but also fitness experts, nutrition experts, and fashion experts. I decided to give them a possibility to create this community with me, to be powerful women in high heels. Having said that, media now, we're talking about fast forward here. Media right now understands that publishing content has become more and more online, obviously, but the internet is still considered as a jungle of anybody can open a blog, anybody can write anything about anything. I think the future is going towards a goal of curation and of higher quality content, which we're trying to do with my girls. Therefore, I have one expert for each subject. Sponsors and brands come to us, such as fashion brands, not only luxury. Right now, with 1.5 million followers and 7 million reach a week, I have opened the subject to a more broad public, so we speak from business to fashion. For a fashion brand to come to an influencer is very interesting because it's not anymore the madman 60s era of advertising where the advertisers would put something on a billboard in a very strong manner and influence the opinion. Right now, the consumer is very savvy. They just know that this is just being a creation of a publicity. So they want to have an opinion, and they want trust, and they want credibility. My fan base is grown organically. I did not pay for fans, and I would never do it. And I absolutely disadvise any business that has an online following to pay for fans, because if you want to sell them something, or if you want to engage on an important subject for you, it's very, very important not to pay them that, because otherwise your business is going to blow. So media is going online, and brands are coming towards influencers, which makes them more reachable for people in a way. And another way, an influencer, when it's credible, can actually give an opinion. So for instance, a brand can come to me with a product and say, can you do advertising for that? And if the product doesn't actually match my fan base, my analytics, because with my fan base I can actually know exactly where people are coming from, how old they are, when they read my article, even at what time they read it, and their opinion about it. So this way, I have an analytic that is very strong. And if the brand doesn't appeal to them, or doesn't appeal to me as an influencer, I cannot accept it for any price. Therefore, it's much more of a transparent, authentic way to do publicity, and a stronger way as well, because it engages more people. It starts a conversation about any subject that you want. So that's a very interesting way, and I think that's the way of advertising, and that's the direction where the new advertising is moving towards. Having said that, coming back to my female power conversation, I really think that it's amazing that with the internet, I could stay boldly myself, I could stay absolutely ambitious without hiding it, and I could stay feminine at the same time, and now I can engage a bigger amount of powerful women, powerful personalities in the same conversation. And we're not forgetting about men. Like, there is a saying, behind every successful man, there is a woman. And I was like, why is she behind? So I was like, why can't we, with the help of men, get women at the same conversation level? I need men as well, my followers, to have the courage to respect a beautiful, sexual woman who can also be intelligent and have a strong conversation online or offline. Thank you.